In this tutorial, we'll learn how to add upcoming services to the hbclynchburg.com website. To start, we'll need to log into the website by clicking the staff link at the bottom of the page. We'll log in by using our credentials, first our username, then our password, and you can click the login button, or to make things faster, just hit the enter key on the keyboard. Now we're at the staff home section. This menu to the right will only appear on the staff home section of the website, and you can see a new link has been added called New Upcoming Service. If we click on New Upcoming Service, we'll get a form that will allow us to add a new upcoming service. Here we are on the form. You can see all of the details here in a description box below. We'll start with the details section by adding a title. We'll call this Who is God as the sermon title. If we wanted to, we could add a more specific series name or a specific title name. Now it's going to want a venue, and without a venue here it'll give us an error unless we click the No Venue button. So make sure you click that before you save this so that you don't get an error message for not adding a venue. We're not going to deal with venues at all in this because all of these take place at Heritage Baptist Church. So click No Venue, then choose a category. In this case we'll choose Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Now this is where things get a little tricky, because since this computer program will need to calculate when these events will take place and determine the order from nearest to farthest away from us, we need to make sure that the dates appear in just a perfect format so that it knows how to calculate them against each other. In this case, you can see that format by hovering over the light bulb icon, and it shows you the format of year-month-day. Ignore the exclamation point. That's just to point out that the format is very important. Now what else is important here is that we get the digits correct so that it knows how to calculate these different dates against each other. In this case, we have 4 digits for the year, 2 digits for the month, and 2 digits for the day. So as we enter in this date, here's what it will look like. 2009-10 for October-25 for the 25th of October. It's important that we have the correct amount of digits even for the month and day, even if that would normally only be a 1-digit month. So for the month of January, instead of typing 1, we need to type 01 to get our 2 digits for the month. The same thing is true for the day. If we wanted January 7th, instead of typing 7, we would type 07. That would be 2009, January 7th. In this case, we're going to go back to 10/25. Now we don't have to add an end date, and if something is only going to take place on one day, we won't even bother with that. We'll leave that alone. Same thing is true for the time and the end time. We don't need to add these. If this is taking place at a different time than normal, we might want to add these to let people know and clarify. If this was taking place, for instance, Sunday PM services might change times based on other events taking place, and so we could then add the time in here if this was a Sunday PM service. The same thing is true. The system will calculate the nearest time for events that take place if they're on the same day, and in that case, if we're entering the time, we need to make sure that we enter it in the right format. And here again is that format. Hour, colon, minute means 2 digits for the hour, 2 digits for the minute, and a colon in between. Ignore the exclamation point. That's just to note that the format is important if you're adding a time. So in this case, we could add 06:30 for 6:30. But we'll take care of that. We'll get that out of there. If we wanted this to repeat, we could do a number of repeating options: daily, weekly, monthly, weekday, and get a lot more options as far as when we want it to recur, how often we want it to take place, when we want it to end. But in this case, it's a good idea to create a new upcoming service for every individual service, not a recurring version, because that way we get to add a separate sermon title for every service. If we have some other things taking place during the service that are important to note, like say a baptism or something like that, we could add those in the description, or we could include a description of the sermon series and what it's going to be about, so people will know whether this is something to bring certain family members to, or certain friends that they want to get to hear whatever the topic is. When we're done with all of this information, we can click Save, and our new service will be saved to the website. You can see the title, Who is God, when it takes place, the day, and then the category, Sunday PM. If we make a mistake, for instance, I want this to be Sunday at 9:30, I can always click on the Edit button next to Event. So this little icon right there is for Edit. If you hover over it, it says Edit Event. Click on that, and now I can change the category to what I actually want, Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Click Save, and here we are, the updated version. The title, when it takes place, the Sunday at 9:30 category so that we know what type of service this is. And then if we wanted to add a description, it would appear below here. In this case, no description is needed because we have no further information on this service. But if something special were taking place, like a communion or a baptism or anything like that that people would like to know about ahead of time, this is where that would end up. So let's look at how this appears on the home page. We'll click on the logo to go back to the home page of the website. These HBC Live articles only appear when people are logged in, so only when staff are logged into the website. These do not appear for the public. These are added so that they will automatically show up whenever we have a service going live on Sunday morning, so people can click and watch this. Over in our upcoming services section, we now see our new service listed with the day it takes place and the title of the sermon. When people click on this, they'll see the full event right here. I'll go back for a minute and show you that 5 services can show up here on the front. There'll be 5 services that will show up here when they're all filled in. It'll take the next 5 services to take place and display them on the site so people will always know what's coming up. When they click on this, they can see more information. And if we ever decide we need to change a service or edit a service down the road, we can always go to that service and click the Edit event and change the details for that service and then save it. Now, what if the service that we want to change or edit does not appear here and we want to edit that service? Or what if someone wants to see farther down the road what services are taking place a month or more from now? Well, to do that, we go to the Ministries menu and click Upcoming Services. Now we'll see a list for all of the services taking place at Heritage Baptist Church. We can see the title and the day and when exactly they're taking place, what type of service they are. One of the cool things about this list is that we can actually search through it and find exactly what we're looking for. So if I type in who and hit go or just press the enter key, I'll get any service that includes the word who in it. Another cool feature is that I can filter by different fields. So title, in this case we don't use city because they all take place in Lynchburg, but I could search for type and type in 9. And I'd only get services that take place at 9, which of course all of these do, so it doesn't make a difference now. But it could down the road if we're trying to narrow down a specific service to edit or look for. And then we also get a limiting feature over here. We can limit the page to 5 services if we're having a hard time loading the whole page. And then we can page through everything using the pagination links at the bottom. Or if we want to see everything at once, we can click all or 100 to get a bigger list at the same time. So if we want to edit a service down the road that something has changed on or we made a mistake on, we can just go to the Ministries menu, Upcoming Services, and find the service using the search feature or clicking through with pagination or just finding it in the list. Click on the title of that service, and now we get the edit icon where we can edit that service, change all of the information, and then save it, and it will be updated on the website. So that's how you add an upcoming service to the Heritage Baptist Church website. If you have any questions, please email me at albowers@hbclynchburg.com, and you can find my contact information via the contact menu under Administrative Staff. There I am, Adam Bowers, and you can email me right from the website.